everyone. So today I'm going to talk to you about the Educational Interpreter Performance Assessment, or I will refer to it as the EIPA, and that's offered out of Boys Town in Nebraska. Their website is www.classroominterpreting.org, www.classroominterpreting.org, and you'll find all the information there that you need to know about the test, including the people who give the test and locations that it's in. You'll also find some information about various states and their requirements. So some states require you to have a 3.0 or better on the test. Some will require a 3.5. States like California, to work in the K-12, you need to have a 4.0 or better if this is the certification that you're using to demonstrate your qualifications. So the EIPA test is similar to ESSE in that you'll get a detailed packet of feedback which you'll be able to use to enhance your overall interpreting once you see what other people think, and then they'll give you some suggestions in how to improve. The EIPA has a knowledge portion of the test, so when you go on their website, you'll be able to click about the written test or the knowledge standards and actually use that to prep yourself for their knowledge portion of the test. However, their knowledge portion of the test is not required in general to take the test. Like NIC, you can't take their performance test without taking the knowledge. EIPA, you can take the performance test without taking the knowledge at this point. So you don't have to take it, but you can if you want to. In some places it might help you. Certainly if you want to be a certified member of RID, if you score a 4.0 on EIPA overall and then have taken and passed EIPA's knowledge test, then you'll be able to be a certified member of RID should you want to join RID that way. So that's a bonus at the moment that is useful to many of you if that's the route that you want to go. And so you can take the EIPA knowledge, but you don't have to. Now, their performance test is similar to the ESSE in that the EIPA performance test allows you to pick from either an elementary version of the test or a secondary version of the test, secondary being high school, elementary being essentially K through middle. And one of the nice things about that is by choosing a level, when you do your receptive part of the test, because you're going to have to do voicing on EIPA's test, when you do your receptive part of the test where you voice, they're going to put a child in front of you that is of the age range that you pick in the form of, if you pick an elementary test or the high school test, you'll get an elementary age kid or a high school age child signer. So those are good for you. Another thing that's similar to ESSE but a little different in the form of EIPA, you need to determine what mode that you're going to work with. So on EIPA, you're going to pick a version of C sign, or you can pick PSE with ASL PSE, or you can pick ASL. And so also the thing about picking the signing style, one of those signing styles, is that the receptive child that you're going to voice for is going to sign in that mode. So if you choose a high school test and then you choose ASL as the language mode that you want to work with, then you're going to get, on your receptive side where you voice, you're going to get a high school signer who uses ASL as their signing style. So that's important to note, because you want to know that going in so that you can effectively prep yourself for going in and taking the test. So one of the differences between EIPA and NIC is you do not need a degree to sit for the test at this point. So if you want to take EIPA's test, you can go in and take it, and that's great. You can take it and pass it, and you're all set. You don't need a college degree of any sort at this point. Who knows if that will change, but at the moment that's the case. So you can also keep that in mind if you're looking for a track toward certification. sometimes even freelance agencies will accept your EIPA evaluation system to fit in with whatever their pay scales are and certain types of assignments that they'll be able to use you for. So you never know how taking this particular exam might be of benefit to you. Again, what happens on EIPA is there is a signing portion, meaning you will listen to an instructor give a lecture and you will sign it. I would encourage you to use the mode that you're most natural in, but you should actually understand what your mode is. So if you're a C signer, sign in C. If you're a PSE signer, sign in PSE. If you're an ASL signer, sign in ASL. But make sure that you distinguish that. That's going to help you in your decision of your child signer as well. So you'll listen to a teacher and you'll interpret. And then the ESSE team, or I'm sorry, the EIPA team will go through and evaluate you. And the criteria, they actually break you down to categories and then individual criterion within the categories. And so they will give you a score on each of those criterion that they have set aside to rate. So that's good because you'll be able to see a score between something like a 1 and a 5 on how you do in each of those categories with the subcategory evaluations. So that'll be also very useful to you as you prep and decide that you're going to move on to possibly the NIC test, because they will give you detailed feedback which you can absorb and then work on it for a year or so, and then possibly take NIC. Because NIC won't give you any feedback, so that's one of the nice things we like about EIPA is they give you detailed feedback to help you know really how you're being perceived by your deaf consumer. So that's really brief and easy. The two portions of the test are graded together, so you have to get an overall score of a 4.0. You'll remember in ESSE, you take the receptive part, they score it. You take the expressive part, they score it. You actually get 2 scores. Each score has to be over a 4. In EIPA, just your overall score has to be a 4 or better if you want to be at the certified level for RID, or if you live in California for the K-12 system in California. So I think that's enough basic information to sort of help you get going. It's possible that in the future I might have some videos, some training videos breaking down all of the categories and criterion that's being evaluated on, so kind of keep your eyes posted here for that. But know that EIPA is a good certification test for many of you to take. It's certainly a great evaluation system if you're prepping for another certification test. So if you're an INT, an interpreting student somewhere close to the end of your program would be a great time to take this test or this evaluation, so that you can get a feel for where you're at and what you might be qualified, how your signing level really is outside of how your instructors perceive you, because these are people who've never seen you before, so they're not gonna grade you on any personality issues as far as if they know you and let you slide on certain things. What they see is what they see, and that can be very helpful to you as a student in prepping for going in and taking agency qualification tests, prepping for the national certification with RID, which is the NIC test, prepping for in-house evaluations, because a lot of times schools or colleges or agencies have an in-house evaluations. If you live in states where there's quality assurance tests, it can prep you for that. So use it as a tool to help you get better, along with satisfying qualification requirements if you're in a state that has qualification requirements where the EIPA would satisfy that. All right? So I shall see you again soon, I'm sure, in my site.